Hello there, and welcome to Chosen of the Gods 6K 2v2. Right now, we're on to the first match of the second rounds here. We've got teams Minds On, Comms Off versus team No Ordinary Fool Can Use My Lack of Technique. Only one Extremely Dedicated to Foolishness. A very long name. And yeah, I'm probably going to be saying that a few more times just for the sake of saying it. I'm joined by Xenophon
Hello.
And right now we're playing the bog standard as we've gotten to this stage, 6K 2v2. We're playing on Tumbleweed, which is a very interesting map for a lot of different reasons. It's beam hell, as some like to call it, and there's a lot of different places you can poke out and cause a lot of problems for people. Let's start taking a look here through the fleets. Xeno, would you like to take over from A&S side?
Certainly. So, starting off with Barrett, we've got to start a gun CL with a S3H backpack. And then it's also got some AMMs, interestingly, or at least I think those are AMMs. They're called Aegises. It's also got an escorting jam sprinter with a Mark 64 on it, which is an interesting choice.
Okay.
Then we've got a quad defender beamstone, a wing of what looks like 2 torpvettes and an empty capper, another wing of 1 torpvet and an empty capper.
We do. Oh, I would drag my attention to a track correlated spyglass reins. I mean, a keystone with a pin art in the nose.
The enemy is securing
Interesting.
zone
We've got the AWACS DD out here. We've got another torpvet, another empty capper. Looks like 3 spy frigates. Well, that is a lot to bring on Tumbleweed.
Yeah, not a lot of sensor coverage that you're going to be able to take advantage of here because a lot of the enemy teams just going to be deep in there. Yeah.
The enemy is securing zone box.
Then finally we've got...
And I believe that rounds out Barrett.
Yeah, a bunch more torps and taking a look at Zigzag Fault here, we've got... Okay. We've got 3 Axfords. 2 of which are in formation. One is the backpack 450, armed with just standard size 3 hybrids, and we got a 250 beam Axford. And then moving over here, we also got a... Oh, my mistake. Another 450 backpack Axford. Let's start speeding this up because there's a bit of action going on here, so we'll just quickly brush through OSP's fleets. Got Quiz here with a 250 liner, along with an EWR tug, MMTs. I assume quite a few of these MMTs. Yep, just scattered around the map.
4 MMTs, yeah.
4 MMTs. Got some Pavise armed cringe cappers. Got an AUG steering cringe capper heading towards the D point. 2 decoy clippers, 3 decoy clippers in front of them.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
I'm generally against using these AUG steering ones. I think it's a bit of a waste because anything can deny you getting that decap. I mean, sure, they can deny the decap as well from something that doesn't have armament, but putting a VLS in this thing, or even just like a T20 would be able to contest that cap, but also, of course, having a basic.
The enemy is securing zone Atlas.
Oh, we got a lot of
to round out this, we've got a whole lot of rocket shuttles. Looks like they're in wings of 3 or 4 even.
Yeah, wings of 4 with jammers. They've got AMMs on these, I assume. Yeah, they got a couple of AMMs on each of these rocket shuttles. That's a lot of rocket shuttles. Oh yeah, they're advancing on the left here. They're pushing. Let's see, they got a lot of them in reserve, just chilling. We got some action here on the
looks like we've got
E point.
Yeah, it looks like we've got 2 wings of 3 rocket shuttles, 1 wing of 4.
As for snipes, we are getting some missiles coming in. Oh, not microing these shuttles, sprinters on the E point. It looks like these are all probably going to die. They're not reacting to the fact that there is an MMT above them. And quickly on to snipes. Not snipes, just running the brick. A big spawners, along with a CLN in the background. Armed with just a collection of different types of missile.
Yeah, I think it's decoy containers rocket containers and cheap spam.
An ordinary fool here is
And
able
there
to
are
take
a
the
lot
8
of
point.
Clipper decoys out on the map.
Yeah, there is quite a considerable number, which is going to be very annoying for ANS to deal with, especially if they're using ARAD ACT missiles, because those will spoof the missile. Then they will fall for it.
We got a rocket container strike about to absolutely annihilate a torp fat.
The enemy
Yep, there we
secures
go.
zone
That's that one. Double blanket on that as well. Small reactor booster. A few other things. Yeah, the cappers on the E point are dying. He's lost. Barrett here just lost another cap sprinter, which is a shame. He lost one of the torpedoes on it. Didn't get to fire. No, got to fire two of them before it died. So right now, no ordinary fool has managed to get more of the caps, but right now they are hull count-wise quite badly outnumbered. They've also taken quite a lot of damage on a lot of these lighter hulls. Some of the spy frigs have already taken damage that they can't really recover from. Just either repair the reactor or... Yeah, that's the only option there. The pinard is all they can use on that thing now. Another one, again, the reactor's knocked out. Beam Destroyer lost its reactor. Oh, not Beam Destroyer, the pinard one.
Yeah, so what's happened here, I think, so far is ANS, well, they have secured an early cap lead, which will be quite useful for them. They have taken very heavy casualties in doing so, and I don't think that's, what they've lost is worth it. Although a lot of their ships are very expensive, and we'll be able to somewhat restore back from this. These spy frigates are carrying restores, which is not something I would personally ever choose to do on a spy frigate.
Well, small lockers are now a bit cheaper. So 20 points instead of the 30.
They are, but 10 points is 10 points. 10 points is 10 points.
Right now, it looks like OSP is mainly just focused on getting everything up. Actually, really looking at this OSP team, they have a lot of rocket shuttles. They have a lot of light assets. They only have the monitors, and one liner is frontline. That's it. Everything else is just a rocket shuttle or a gun shuttle, and that's quite a gamble, because right now they have 3 of these Axfords that they have to deal with, and the monitor ball.
However, one of them being a beam Axford isn't going to be able to fight them effectively unless it gets an ambush on them. So they've only really and one monitor blob in terms of actual frontline assets. One monitor blob will beat the single Axford pair, or the 2 450 Axfords that ANS has as their only real frontline as well.
Yeah. It's all about who ends up engaging what right now. There's what I'm seeing here is that both teams are going to be avoiding each other's main force for quite a while. Instead, it's going to be all these light assets, like we're seeing here on the E point right now. The tugboat getting pretty crippled trying to get onto the E point, but they've got also this cringe capper. They're going to be able to take the E point from ANS.
The enemy is securing zone Eclipse.
Yeah, ANS, the only thing ANS has here is a 450 Axford, which will probably not be able to kill these fast enough unless it uses its missiles on that.
Its escort has a Mark 64, but again, I doubt that that's one barrel is not going to do much. There's 2 things they're going to worry about.
One barrel of 250 is nothing.
They might start shooting at the tugboat first as well, which, yeah, no, I don't think they're going to be able to save this. We got an ARAD active missile coming in. We'll see if they remember to... Oh, we got some AMMs.
And the tugboat's definitely the better target for the 450 because the 450 will actually kill the tugboat. Yeah. It will not do anything to the shuttle.
It's missiles that you want to be firing at that corvette there. I mean, shuttle. But it does still have a few more AMMs, and they did manage to take out the first S3.
And there's the cap.
The enemy secured zone Eclipse.
Yep, E point going. So right now, no ordinary fool has to try and force either throw that Axford onto the E point, but oh, here comes the cavalry. Lots of rocket shuttles moving in. They're going to try and kill this Axford over here. Oh, that's a lot of rocket shuttles. That's 7. in total. Let's take a look. Do they have a lyrebird in this ball? If they do, that would be pretty nice. It would deal with.
They have bellbirds.
They do have a bellbird in the formation, and then I'm guessing the further back formation also using a bellbird.
Yes, and with 3 rocket shuttles plus the new face heading to track trick, plus a bellbird, they will have no trouble penning any PD net that ANS has.
Using rocket shuttles recently, the new hold heading against a track is just great. It's very frustrating sometimes with rocket shuttles because they don't start turning until they're actually able to shoot at the target, which is very, very annoying. We got these monitors here, just continuing to push around this corner. If this was... so this is the beamstone here. It is currently, I guess, lining up. It doesn't have a track. It's locking something. Is it locking one of these monitors?
Unfortunately, I don't think we can see what it's trying to lock. Also, I will note, it doesn't have a blanket, which means it will die to this monitor blob.
Yeah, no,
to kill them.
it has one restore. It gets looked at. Well, I mean, it doesn't even matter about the restore. It's just going to die.
Yeah, this thing's about to die if it doesn't get in cover right now.
The track quality is probably very bad right now. It
does have a radar, which is good.
An ordinary fool trying to take back the E point here, but the rocket shuttles are coming in, and they are going to dump hopefully not an obscene amount of rockets, but enough to get through that defender.
Yeah, 5 from each of these is plenty.
Testing zone eclipse.
In fact, 5 from each of those is definitely overkill, but overkill is better than not kill.
Yeah. Don't want to be playing games here at the E point. Just sort it out. We've got. Yeah, it looks like 5 each. Ooh, maybe 6
The
each.
enemy is securing zone eclipse.
They've killed it. Most certainly. They overkilled it by a little bit, but, you know, no time for caution. Yeah, that was 5 rockets each, it looks like.
Yeah, and most of them have 36 rockets. Some of them have, one of them only has 18, so that's perfectly reasonable.
Mm-hmm. The Axford is starting to run away now from these rocket shuttles, realizing, oh no, that's dangerous. Not lobbing any more missiles at them, however. Oh, here we go, firing some missiles. I'm guessing that these ARAD acts are going to be spoofed either by turning off radar and using some chaff, or just AMMs will knock them out. Here come the AMMs.
I'm noticing
Ooh, no,
is
not
also
turning
using
them on
a lot
right.
of size 1.
2 rocket shuttles just died there. Well, one's knocked out and can't be used anymore, and the other was dead. So that's a bit of an oof for Quiz there. Didn't deploy chaff, lost two
Those were some
rocket
very
shuttles.
nice missiles.
However, the monitors are swinging around and now have broadsides onto this Axford. The beam is diving, it's going lower. Instead of trying to engage these monitors, it's deciding it doesn't want to take that fight. It could go below. Maybe they're just prioritizing defending the B point. We'll see in a moment here. But shots starting to come in.
I think it is a smart decision to move that BMGD just because it's going to die to those monitors if it tries to attack them.
The Intel destroyer has been dealt with. I mean, not that it was going to be able to do much. Oh, we have a rocket dump here coming in on Zigzag Fault's Axford. These probably aren't going to pen. Only 2 of them left. And
yeah, those are not making it.
Yeah, that's a shame. If there was 4 there, then they'd probably be able to do something here. We got this other pair of Axford shuttles trying to round the corner on the Axford, though. But this Axford is getting pressed by a lot of points. It's getting pushed by 3K monitor ball, and it's also got more rocket shuttles bearing down on it from its left-hand side, so it's not looking very good.
Yeah, this is more like, I think, a 4.5K monitor ball, or maybe like 4K.
Let's take a look at their internals and see. Reinforced DC complex. These look to be pretty standard. How many are there? There's just the 5.
But it's 5 monitors and a jam shuttle.
Yeah, so about 3.5K
And
maybe, or 3.3K.
Yeah. They are missing 1 AE, which is usually the sign that this is... Yeah, okay, so it might be more like 3.3.
We got some more missiles coming in here. AMMs firing into them. Knocking out the first one. And the second one. Need more AMMs coming in. Grazers. They should have grazers in this fleet. That is one hit. 2 hits. Both in the C-90s, but they'll repair those pretty soon. Oh, but we just missed it. There we go.
Rockets.
The rockets. The Axford being forced to show front on to the monitors there. Unfortunately, PD wasn't an arc. I guess they tried to get the PD there by flipping bow top forward towards the shuttles there, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. And yeah, that Axford's out. No restores, nothing. It's going to get cooked. Oh, we got a rocket strike also coming in on the Axfords from down by the A point. This is probably going to get through a few of them at least. There we go. Ooh. Beams are coming in though, but it's a bit too late. Unfortunately, this Axford down to one restore. They can chain restore it. That's what they're starting to do already. That is a regretful amount of damage.
I don't know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was not worth it for the rocket shuttles.
Yeah, the actual damage that they ended up doing is not that impressive, all things considered. They could chain that. The cannon's still there. 2 rapids on the bottom, which is interesting. Usually they'd have the bulk mag. Oh, I'd have a bulk mag down there. That would have taken out the mag.
CIC.
Yeah, so this Citadel CICs on these Axfords, however.
Yeah, so this Axford's actually like totally fine. Although it is now getting shot, which is not going to help it, but only by a 250 LM now.
Yeah. Oh, the beam destroyer is pushing up onto the monitors, charging near the E point. However, it looks like it's about to start getting 100 mil AP into it.
There's the 100 mil. I don't know, it might take out one monitor.
They are not battle shorting this beam. This is a very, very bad misplay from No Ordinary Fool here. They need to be shorting. There we go. They figured out that the battle short button exists.
This thing also needs to be moving back into cover, and it is. It is moving, so that's good.
Managed to cripple the first monitor. Needs to move on to another target, though. Don't sit too much beam time on one. It doesn't really matter, though. The beam's going to get knocked out any second now. And the rockets as well. Yeah, this is a dead beam destroyer.
Yes.
Managed to...
Yeah, I mean, it has no reactor, no drive. It's fucked.
Oh, a bunch of hybrids coming in on Quiz's liner on the A point. Inadequate PD, it looks like, to be able to kill all of these missiles.
These are expensive too, they're decoy. Or at least one of them was.
Decent hits on the center stack. Lots of rapids, so knocking out one of the CICs, but this does have 2 CICs. The DC complex is fine. Citadel magazine.
It's got a drive still.
Got a drive, it can still get out of there.
Although, no, there are more missiles coming in, so I don't know if it will be getting out of there.
Listen, have some faith. The liner always gets through, or gets away, or whatever. No, it looks like these are actually going to end up doing... They might kill this thing. No, they can't kill it, because the DC complex will probably survive. Got it down to the AUG steering, however. Yeah, this thing is going to take a while to zombie back.
Yeah, again, those drive's still there, although it doesn't have a CIC for the moment, so it will take a while to get back into cover. But it's not getting shot at. They could instantly kill this thing with their guns, but they're not doing that.
Vauxhall here by the B point, starting to engage with the monitors. This is not a fight it can win. They probably know this already. It's looking pretty rough there. No Ordinary Fool is down one Axford, down one of the beamstones, down a lot of... It's down most of their light assets, most of their the spy frigs that I wouldn't recommend bringing the Tumbleweed. They're either not being used right now because they can't use them or they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, I think bringing 2 spy frigs on Tumbleweed is very reasonable. These are just expensive spy frigs which got killed very early because they weren't using their jammers to soft kill MMT missiles. Or maybe they got rocket containered.
We got a bunch of rocket containers coming in on this Cello, although they might end up just going for the Sprinter on the B point.
A Cello, huh?
I keep doing that. The Vauxhall on the...
Yeah, there goes the Sprinter.
Vauxhall. Yep.
Actually, okay, Sprinter. Yeah, Sprinter lost the drive.
Take a shot every time I misidentify a hull. Well, not misidentify. I know what it is. I'm just saying the wrong word. The monitors starting to just push down to the B point. Right now, for an Ordinary Fool, what would you say would be their best play here?
You know, I think they've already kind of zoned themselves out with the positioning of their assets. I think the big mistake was splitting up those two gun experts to start, because that let one of them just get killed pretty trivially. And now at this point, I mean, they don't have a lot of options left. They don't have any cap assets left, really. I guess what they need to start doing is, using their capital ships to get on points and hope that the monitor ball can't kill them all fast enough.
Mm-hmm. MMT getting involved here, firing some size 2s at the reins. Yeah, no, right now this is looking very rough for an Ordinary Fool, and I don't really see how they can pull themselves out of this. Maybe they'll give a good showing of it, though. They've got these experts trying to push towards these monitor balls, but they're not looking in the right direction, and they're getting laid into by a lot of fire. Probably going to end up losing the last DC locker here. And then they're going to be in big trouble.
Their hope is to get this beam expert into the monitor ball, but look at where it is. It's not doing that. It's letting the 450 expert push and die by itself.
Mm-hmm. The monitors were not the monitors, sorry, the rocket shuttles were very valuable in this game. They kept them in reserve, waited until they knew where the enemy were, and then pushed with them. And were able to, with the monitors, push that one extra that was up there alone. Maul it to death.
I don't know, I mean, I think the thing is that they kind of, really all they did was deal with that one expert and help on the beam DD, and other than that, they didn't accomplish a lot, so I don't know if they really, achieved cost parity to the degree that we were hoping, and certainly to the degree that OSP was hoping they would.
I think, well, it's more the time saved, I think, is the more valuable thing. They just dealt with it pretty quick, and then they were able to move on.
That's true. Yeah, so yeah, I think definitely hurting that one expert was very good, but other than that, I don't know if they accomplished a whole lot.
Barrett is just down, went from 14 ships all the way down to just this Vauxhall now. Still firing at a dead shuttle.
Yeah, in fairness, I think that is a just now dead shuttle. But yeah, that target needs to get switched, and Barrett needs to get that moving. I don't know, maybe towards A? No, there's rocket shuttles there. I guess D. D, I think, would be the place for that to go, because that could definitely take D. That's an expensive CL. It's, got 6 restores.
Oh yeah, you're right, that is a pretty expensive CL. DC Central on board. Double drive, which is good.
Also, guessing just by the name of those, S3H, I think there's some sort of corkscrew AMM dodgers, which are going to be 25 points minimum.
Yeah, definitely getting into the pricey range there, but they had sufficient hull count wise. You want to be seeing something like this, at least 12 really, if you're bringing a 6K. But unfortunately, a lot of them were stuff like these 4 spy frigs, which, well, 3 at least, which isn't very worthwhile.
Also the 40C before TC Destroyer, which is
Yeah.
they're so vulnerable to getting killed. I can't ever recommend using
Yeah,
those.
they're big. That people see them from a while away. You can't really hide them properly. They're, as you said, they're slow, and whenever they get hit,
And if they get shot, they instantly die.
yeah,
Like that, I think that this took maybe like one rocket container, or like
oh, rocket strike on the CL
like
here.
one cheap spam container.
Well, good hits into the.
Ooh,
the other ones are
beautiful.
missing, but good hits there, knocking out.
That was a very good angle.
Almost knocking out the CIC, but it was close. Unfortunately, not doing as much damage as it could have done, but it was worthwhile. That was a good strike. The Axford on the A point, starting to charge out into the open towards the 250 liner that's trying to defend the A cap. I mean, they might be able to get the A cap here, but everything else is going pretty badly for No Ordinary Fool right now.
Yeah, I think this match is pretty much over. I don't think they really have a chance to pull this back.
Yeah, that CL has more restores on it than the Axfords do on this team.
Yeah. I think basically what we're seeing here is the ANS team has been entirely pushed off of the map. And there's nothing they can really do about it because their assets are split. You know, the only assets they have that could accomplish anything are all totally split up.
I think, based off what we see here, it's pretty safe to call it, at least from our end. The match will keep playing, but we will head to the after action report and see the teams there. Alrighty, this is the after action report. As we were saying earlier, Team Minds on Comms Off have won the first round. A pretty strong performance and showing from them. What would you say, Xeno?
I would say that team Minds Off comes off or Minds On comes off. Didn't have any trouble at all that game. They were in control the entire time.
We're seeing Anus brought a lot of points worth of Axford. They brought some interesting builds, but a lot of it wasn't being used properly. I feel a lot of it wasn't even being microed at times, which ended up being a very difficult situation whenever you have an enemy team that is being microed and has a lot of holes, because OSP had what 34 5 holes there maybe. So
something like that.
Managing to deal with all of that whenever you have less ships on top of you're not staying on top of your micro, it's very difficult. But maybe we'll see no Ordinary Fool win the second round. Let's see what happens.
And I think something to notice that the missiles on No Ordinary Fool did very good work. You know, this one Axford has nearly 16,000 damage, of which 13,000 is from missiles.
Mm-hmm.
The guns only did less than 3,000. So the missiles were very good, and some of Barrett's assets that did manage to survive did very good work. Like we have a Torp Vet here with 10k damage. The CL has going on 14,000, but they just didn't manage to keep enough of their assets alive to do work with them.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, let's head on to the second round.